Aus England, 31 Jahre alt, die aktuelle 88 der Welt. Ladies and Gentlemen, aus Doncaster, Primetime, Matthew Edgar. So, und damit geht es zum ersten Spieler aus den Top 30. Aktuell steht er auf Weltranglistenplatz Nummer 25. Bei den UK Open erreichte er das Viertelfinale, ein 7-maliger WM-Teilnehmer. Die Rede ist von Steve Simply the West.
So Kirk Shepherd comfortably through to the second round of the German Darts Open, seeing off Simon Stevenson in our opening match of the afternoon. Two more UK qualifiers meet on stage now. Matthew Edgar against Steve West. And these two met in the UK Open finals in Minehead earlier in the year in the fourth round, where Steve prevailed 10-7. And then went on to be beaten by David Pallett in the fifth round. But Matthew Edgar taking the scalp of John Henderson on his way to that fourth round. And Matthew Edgar on Twitter telling us this week that he'd cut his thumb and saying that he was bravely going to battle on to Saarbrücken, tongue-in-cheek, with the hashtag Pray for Edgar. But we'll see if that does affect him, that minor injury. The winner of this one to take on Darren Webster, which will be a tasty encounter whoever prevails, Chris.
Yeah, this could be a tasty encounter in itself too, because these are a couple of players who've been in decent form at the start of the year. Steve West in particular, he's reached a couple of quarterfinals, including at the UK Open, one of the qualifiers for that, and at a Players' Championship event too. A man who's reached a Pro Tour final at the back end of 2016, and could well be one of those players who could be in the hunt to go deep into one of these European Tour tournaments, perhaps even has his sights on winning a maiden PDC title in 2018. He's not made a bad start here.
But back comes Matthew Edgar.
140.
The last one was a flyer. Well, what a start.
What a start indeed. That's 5 perfect darts from Steve West.
140.
Well, he was closer than Edgar's 180 attempt.
140. 57.
Well, not such a good visit for Steve West, but very early days.
60. Steve, you require 124.
He's down to a finish though after 9 darts. Will he leave? He went for the bullseye. He did indeed with Edgar on 161.
He had to go for it really. We've seen it. A few of those shots punished when they don't, including one in a Pro Tour final last weekend when Adrian Lewis declined a shot and Michael Smith took out 158. Steve West cleans it up.
Steve West, second Matthew to throw first.
Hang on to his throw in the first leg.
It's been played at a nice pace, this, and a good standard. In the opening exchanges here.
140.
I mean, there are no easy matches anymore on the PDC circuit, but there would be a couple of players who would have thought could have got a more favourable draw in the first round. You know, we've got a couple of debutants playing each other in 2 games' time.
100. 60.
Matthew Edgar's been playing on the Challenge Tour the last couple of years, having missed out on a tour card at Q School at the start of 2017. He won an event last year and has won 2 so far early on this year. So those wins are standing him in good stead
59.
in these European Tour events, that's for sure.
170.
The first one he's qualified for this year.
Yeah, well, he did get his tour card back at the start of this year. As West now, will he go for this?
138.
Well, it's a beautiful miss that from Steve West. Show of respect from the players. West will return looking at double 16,
95.
having
Steve, you require 32.
perfectly placed that previous start in the smallest part of the 18 segment. Edging closer.
Game on the second leg. Steve West.
Well, a bit of fun on stage between
Third
them,
leg,
but
Steve to throw first. Game
Matthew
on.
Edgar in quick time finds himself 2 down, and that was a breaker throw by Steve West. We saw Steve West in Munich
100.
on the second European Tour event, losing to Joe Cullen, having beaten Kim Huybrechts and Paul Rowley on the way to the third round.
Yeah, he was bitterly disappointed with his
140.
performance or lack of it in that whitewashed defeat to Joe Cullen.
140.
So off Ryan Meikle and Michael Barnard to qualify for this one. A good scalp for Edgar in qualifying, beat the World Championship semi-finalist Jamie Lewis in his decisive match.
100.
So West down to another big finish as Edgar just checks with air
98.
caller Hugh Ware
Steve, you acquire 161.
what he has left. Edgar also down to a big finish. Can West take out the 161? It won't happen. Just looking to set it up.
97. Matthew, you require 167. 57. Steve, you require 64.
Steve West just seems to have been a little bit in front so far. Looking for tops for a 3-0 lead. Double 10 will do just as well.
54. Matthew,
Chasing
you
the doubles
require
and allows a
110.
chance for his opponent.
Double 15. Yes,
Game
takes out
on the third
110.
leg, Matthew Edgar. Fourth leg, Matthew
That'll give
to throw
Matthew some
first.
confidence.
Game
A
on.
break of throw to get back into this game. And yes, Steve West, you can see him ruining his missed chances on the his own double attempts
140.
there.
It could be a tide turner because it just looked like Steve West was serenely edging towards a comfortable win. And all of a sudden, the 110 pegs him back and Edgar has the darts to level up.
140.
Back comes West. With a
140.
ton 40 of his own.
$85.
Edgar down to a finish, albeit a big one.
100. Matthew, you require 136.
Well,
96.
an even
Steve, you
bigger one in
require
prospect for Steve West.
161.
Missed the ball for a 170 earlier on, but not going to get a dart
99.
for the 161 once
Matthew,
more.
You require 40.
So for a level match.
Game on the fourth leg. Matthew Edgar. Fifth leg, Steve to throw first. Game on.
Yeah, it's an entertaining watch, this one. And West batters the treble 20 bed yet again for his second 180 of the match.
100.
And last time he threw 5 perfect darts. Let's see if we can have 6.
$140.
Matches his previous best. But he's putting in a very,
100.
very strong performance and will be probably slightly frustrated to find himself tied at 2 apiece, averaging 107.
125.
56 after 9 darts is
97.
superb on any
Steve, you
stage
require
by any
56.
standard.
$46.
Well, he's got time, luckily, but would have settled for a 12 darter. Edgar punishing it, certainly putting some pressure on that shot.
10.
The awkward double 5 to nudge ahead. No messing, right in the corner for Steve West.
That could have got ugly had it just drifted further across.
100.
Yeah, Darren Webster awaiting the winner of this one.
140.
Terry Jenkins on stage next after a hiatus from the European Tour. He's got the hunger back again. And Matthew Edgar's got the hunger for his first 180 of the match. Yeah, the Scotsman Cameron Mendes is Terry Jenkins' opponent next.
60.
But this one could still go either way.
Well, that 60 just opened the door for Steve West in this leg. If he can find at least one treble.
60. Matthew, you require 161.
Sort of consistencies that can be frustrating in Steve West's game is that his grouping
92.
is that close that if the first start misses, the other two tend to follow anyway. He finds it difficult to adjust. Now can he adjust to the treble 17?
97. Matthew, you require 69.
Yeah, I've never seen a player throw so many darts all on the wire than Steve West. Double 16 for Edgar.
37.
Chance then to restore that
64.
two-leg cushion.
Double eights, yes, gets it.
Sixth leg, Steve
West. Go 4-2 up now.
Seventh leg, Steve to throw first.
That two-leg advantage that he enjoyed at the start of the match when he went 2-0 up. And Matthew Edgar shaking his head at the back of the stage.
100.
Well, all credit to West because he could have become frustrated that he'd lost a couple of legs and let his opponent back into this one. But he's restored that advantage now. He just has to make sure he doesn't let him in once again. And showing no signs of doing so.
His third 180, the fourth of the match.
98.
Really has been entertaining fare on this second match of the afternoon
57.
Here in Saarbrücken.
And it could well continue with some of the games that we've got coming up. In particular, that one between Richard North and Danny Noppert later on this afternoon.
$104.
Nicely set up then by West for when he returns.
58.
It would put him within one leg of victory. Just going to compose himself before walking to the oche.
Well, he doesn't want to find himself in a similar situation that has already occurred in this match. So just taking his time to make sure he gets the job done. And this time he does find double 10.
He felt that single 20 was a bit high and was blocking his view, but made amends on the
57.
double 10. Did West.
Yeah, very, very impressive display in all departments. Not 42. Just the quality of the darts that have been thrown, but the attitude too from Steve West in this one.
97.
He's a player who can beat himself up at times, but remain calm, collected, composed, and classy in this one.
180. 137.
Fourth maximum of the match for West.
And still averaging north of 100. It's looking like we're going to have a couple of routes
60.
in the first two games here in Saarbrücken. Edgar is down to a finish.
98.
But West on a
Matthew, you
two-darter.
require 150.
That would be a nice way to finish
50.
it off.
Steve, you require 100.
So to wrap the match up then,
60.
Well, they opted not to go
Matthew,
for a
you
couple of double
require
tops.
90.
yeah, I did wonder, with Edgar poised on 90.
Might only get a dart at the ball. It is the bullseye.
56. Steve, you require 40.
Well, it was at it, I can assure you. Good guide for Steve West.
Very good guide. Oh, but the third one was wayward, and well, he can't believe it after those first two darts.
I think the second one was probably that close to the wire that the dart lay a little different. It wasn't stood up like the previous one and could have just, you saw him step across to try and avoid it.
A lifeline for Edgar, going straight for the double 17 rather than splitting it. Has to really in this situation,
17.
but only goes for a single well.
Steve, you require
A
35.
bit of a look of resignation on his face there.
Yeah, didn't seem to attack it with the first couple of darts. And Steve West does finish it off. A very, very strong showing from Steve West in this first round here in Saarbrücken. A 6-2 win and an average of around 100 for Steve West. He'll take on Darren Webster tomorrow afternoon. Next up, we will see the return of the bull Terry Jenkins to the European Tour stage when he takes on Scotland's Cameron Menzies. But we're going to hear from Steve West, who wins 6-2.
Ein starker Auftritt von Steve West, spielt knapp ein 100er Average und bezwingt Matthew Edgar mit 6:2. Morgen wird es damit zu tun bekommen mit Darren Webster, dem Demolition Man. Applaus für Matthew Edgar. Steve, congratulations. Average of 100. Yeah, good start in the tournament.
It surprised me because it didn't feel that good.
Because the double percentage was not that high, even though scoring was good.
My scoring is normally always good. Doubles always let me down, and that's something I've got to try and work on and make it better in the next, for the rest of my career. But scoring-wise, I don't have to worry about that.
Darren Webster is the next one tomorrow.
I'll just headbutt him.
That's mean.
Listen, he got one last week. He can't, he can take it. That's all right. I like Darren. He's a good guy and he's a great player. So just got to be on your game. If you're not on your game against Darren, you're going to lose. End of.
Yeah. See you tomorrow. Thank you, Steve. Steve West. Er sagt, Scoring ist nie ein Problem gewesen bei ihm und war auch heute nicht das Problem. Beim 6:2 hast du sowieso keine Probleme. Er steht also in der zweiten Runde. Darren Webster, ich weiß nicht, ob ihr es mitbekommen habt, Darren Webster hat es ein bisschen am Näschen gekratzt, Nasenbeinbruch gehabt letztes Wochenende und er meinte, dann gebe ich ihm nochmal eins drauf, dann geht es ihm hier nicht so gut. Nein, das wird morgen schon ein bisschen schwieriger werden für ihn. Terry Jenkins sehen wir gleich gegen den Schotten Cameron Menzies. Bis gleich.